Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
I sent you that sandbag thing because it was 100-pound girl picking up 100-pound sandbag.
Max just DM'd me Jess Evans doing some crazy workout. Jess Evans was the boxer that we had on a while ago. But I know, and I wouldn't have known it was 100 pounds. I'd just be like, oh,
That's a
seems like
big
it's
old
awkward for her.
sandbag.
And then you realize why.
Ugh. Have you ever tried to pick up a big sandbag?
Yeah, but well, hers was shaped just like a bag of sand. I've seen the ones that are uh, a hot dog with handles.
Yes.
I've done
Some of them
those.
have like suitcase handles
Yeah,
or
like
like
yeah, like a duffel bag.
yeah, briefcase, duffel bag. Yeah, briefcase. That's my conception of, or that's my idea of like, oh, gotta go to work, better get my briefcase, and it's just a giant
It'd
sandbag
be
of
really
weight.
fun to make a briefcase full of lead and work out with it, like a professional business person workout. I might do that. What
Professional
this?
workout.
Yeah,
And then you
this
have a
show really
full,
has just turned into
yeah,
me brainstorming for my
brainstorming.
main channel.
And then you obviously you have to wear like a pantsuit or a suit,
Yeah.
and then you should wear pants. And then if you're really going to make the video good, they should be real tight, and then you should rip them while you're squatting or something like that, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Or you should wear a coat and tie, a jacket and tie, and then rip the sleeves right off. Would you rip them off, or would you like be doing curls and you just have it so tight that they just like burst? Either one.
Yeah, really, there's no wrong answer
We'll
here.
find out on the day.
Did I tell you I wanted to make a really heavy book? I may still do this. Okay, that's dumb that I just like dropped the joke.
Uh-huh.
The setup is the only
It's
fitness book
really
you'll ever
dense.
need, and it's just a really heavy book. It's empty. It's just this heavy
Oh,
thing you're supposed to carry around.
very good. Very good. I thought you were gonna say like it's real dense and it's just full of like Dostoevsky or like really
Oh yeah.
this is the thickest book you're gonna read, or the thickest, heaviest book, and then it's just poetry.
So, have you worked out with sandbags?
Yes. We had all sorts of sandbags. Again, I always keep going back to this, but one thing wrestlers really love to do, or wrestling coaches or wrestling programs, is do weird workouts because we do weird stuff anyway. So we had a coach who brought in a bunch of sandbags, and they range from like the size of like a ball, like a medicine ball, all the way up to the size of a human torso. And if they don't have the handles, it's really annoying, especially if the sandbag's full, the bag is full of sand,
Oh yeah.
fine, whatever. Sometimes they would be right around half, so that when you pick it up, it like
It
folds over
flops
your
all around.
arm, and
Yeah.
it's just incredibly annoying. And you have to like figure out how to do it. So
So
yeah,
it's grip workout too, because you're kind of grabbing the bag.
you're kind of grabbing it, but you don't want to like rip it because then you have to pay coach for a new one.
Wow.
So you're like gathering it. It's just really like annoying, and you're like, if this was just like a rock, I could do this. Or
It's not
this is
heavy, it's awkward.
right, exactly. But that's what you're trying to figure out, is you're trying to figure out that body mechanics or kinesiology or whatever it's called.
Yeah, sure.
So
Interesting.
yeah, but
Oh, so that
frankly, we would only do sandbags if there wasn't enough human beings, because we would always just sort of, all right, grab somebody, throw them over your shoulders, now run up a hill. It's like that sort of thing. But the
seems like a
sandbag
lot of
was
staff situation.
a lot of stat. Well, we all take showers, so that's and we all had to use Dial antibacterial soap all the time. And let me tell you, it's like it's like washing with like a Brillo pad, essentially. Or that's what it feels like afterwards. It doesn't hurt, it's just soap. But afterwards, you're like, ugh, why is my skin like grated everywhere? It's
It's
awful.
because it was full of triclosan, which is absolutely ruining your endocrine system.
Murder.
I'm looking it up right now. does dial soap still contain triclosan? Nope. In 2016, they got banned.
Oh,
But back
Dial
then,
antibacterial soap because Dial regular soap, they make a regular soap. Dial has
yeah,
shout out to our hopefully our future sponsor Dial.
just
Because they make a regular soap and it's fine. It's great. You don't feel like you just went through a cheese grater, but they have an antibacterial soap, which is the one they tell all the wrestlers to get.
with banned
And
ingredients.
man, it just ugh. Well, I guess I didn't realize that's the one that was banned, the
Yeah, that one
antibacterial.
and Safeguard is the one that I used as a kid. So
Oh my
yeah,
God. We gotta
I
eBay
know.
some.
I'm sure that True True Diagnostic already knows. They could see it in my DNA that my epigenome is all messed up from washing with the wrong stuff.
uh, let me see. Is it? Yep.
Okay, so are they changing it up a lot for you? Yeah, there you go. Did you do it yet?
Nope. It's on my desk, just like she said.
You got to switch out your soap before you do it. Make sure you get a good score.
It's like cramming for the test.
Yeah,
Actually,
just try and get younger really quickly.
my friend used to cram for the beach. Did I ever tell you this? We would be going to the beach and she'd be like, "Hold on, I gotta do a quick ab workout." And I'm like, of all the things, you can't exactly get an ab workout. Like you can't cram pull an all-nighter for an ab workout. You can
Yeah,
get a
right.
pump on and get shoulders and you could get arms or whatever. But abs is kind of tough to get you get a pump
Yeah,
on, especially if this girl was trying to look like a dainty little girl. I was like, you're not
it's
going to get a
funny.
pump on your abs. Or I mean, or are you? Have you ever, is that possible? Have you done it? I thought it was
I've seen the
impossible.
CrossFit Games. They definitely do it. Looking
Were
like
they
tree trunks.
Ninja
Yeah.
Turtle?
Yeah, targeted fat loss, but really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Just the
it was
Cliffs
dumb.
notes, Spark notes.
Spark Notes, that was my jam.
So were your coaches changing things up a lot? How are you progressive overloading if it's just a constant barrage of different muscle
Well,
confusion?
well, we weren't progressive overloading really because we weren't supposed to be growing at all.
Oh,
And
right.
over the
Wait.
years, it was different. In high school, we would do one thing, but in high school, we're also all definitely going through puberty. In college, and so they were sort of like, if you grow, you grow. I don't know. We can't really, we're not really holding you to that. In college, they were like, no, 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 that's your weight class, and don't grow anymore. You're done. Which is kind of crazy because I grew about 35, 40 pounds from freshman to senior year,
Oh,
or maybe
wow.
like 25 to 30 and then 35 to 40 till now. So it was pretty wild. I think what they were trying to do is not really make us stronger per se. It was make us like strong in weird positions.
Yeah.
You know, we would do
Functional.
a lot of bear crawl stuff. We would do one where uh you would be in a push-up position on your hands and toes, and you would be
Yeah.
facing an opponent, and you would try to grab the other guy's wrist. You try to get that guy's chest on the ground, and you
What?
just, oh my God, it was that was a brutal version of a lot of games that we played.
Oh my
That
goodness.
that was a bad version. Remember feet? I told you about feet, right?
Yeah, I was just to say it reminds me of feet, but it's chest. You're just
Right,
face
but it's
planting.
it's wrists, and if they get you right, like you're reaching to put your weight on you, and then he like grabs it out from under you, you just slam. Best case
Oh
scenario,
my
you slam on
God.
your shoulder. Worst case scenario, you knock heads because you both, yeah, that was not a great one. That was not my favorite.
What? Jeez, it
But we
seems
did
just
that.
like impossible not to get an injury.
Yeah, yeah, that was not the smartest one. Um,
Obviously, we need to try it next time I see you.
the fun one, the one I really liked was tails. You take your shirt and you put it in the back of your pants like a tail. And if somebody pulls your tail out, then you're out. And that one wasn't one-on-one. That one was everybody just a free for all.
Yeah,
So then it was really kind of fun. It's sort of like dodgeball, but there's no ball. It's
right. Did you have a
dodgeball.
strategy? Were you ripping or just dodging it first?
I did have a strategy, which was I would put my back on the wall And
Stand
then
there
they
until
told
everyone's
me,
gone.
and then they told me that was illegal. And so then I would form alliances. That was my strategy. I was like, all right,
Like
you guys, we're
Survivor.
together. We'll stick to the end, and in the final it'll be us three, and blah blah blah. And then I would backstab them all the time. And then I definitely had strategy. Luckily for me, I was, believe it or not, very tall and lanky for wrestling. Now I'm a pretty like normal, almost stocky guy, I would say, but the people that I was around were extreme gnome sized, troll sized people, you know? So I had long arms. My arms are normal to short, I would say. But in this sort of weird little subculture, I was like a
Basically
slender
Michael
man kind of.
Phelps.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the Michael Phelps of wrestlers.
Yeah. And so I would be able to grab tails all the time. It was very easy. And I also for some reason people wouldn't realize that when you spin, the tail was not prehensile, you know? They couldn't
Yeah.
control how the tail would go. So if they spin, the tail was going to follow them. And for some reason nobody realized that. So someone would spin and I would like figure out where the
Still be able
tail
to
was
grab
going to
it.
go,
Yeah.
or they would spin and it wouldn't move yet because the whip hadn't. Anyway, it was a fun. We played a lot of really fun, bizarre games. I can't believe how many. I mean, I honestly I forgot about Tails until we were just talking about it today, you know. But that was
Yeah.
one of like 200 weirdo games that we just decided to play. I think the whole concept was they're trying to get you used to your body, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why you're such a great dancer now.
I am in fact not a great dancer. That is my one.
I'm telling
uh
you, your physical modeling, your proprioception is great. You just need a little more practice from Vinny.
it is great, and I really believe that.
It's
That is absolutely my skill, is that I can mimic a movement extremely well, unless it's a dance, in which case
great.
I am totally lost and terrible and so bad. And I have rhythm. I play the piano. I know what a metronome is. You know what I mean? I just
Sure.
can't do anything. It's so bad. It's amazing. Anyway,
But yeah, having your body that functional, I mean, it's the opposite of what I've been doing for the past, I don't know,
yeah.
5 years. It
Well, but
sounds fun, like I want to get back to it, you know?
it reminds me a little bit of your ring muscle up. You're learning a weird strength. You're learning strength in a weird positional, you
It
know?
is really specific though. And if there's any sort of twist to it,
Yeah.
heck no. You know what I mean? Yours feels more just physically well-rounded. If
Yeah.
anything, I would liken the muscle up to a deadlift, or what I'm trying to do is get those numbers up in very specific things. You're just so focused, and then you're not well-rounded. You're
Mm,
not able to hold a strange body position and like twist your back to then keep the sandbag up.
right. It's not reactionary. It's not improvisational. It's very,
Yeah. Which
step by
means,
step.
yeah, it's yeah. Like when I clean, which I do often, and then move from cleans to squatting, I'll clean up my last one after I do an EMOM of 10, and I'll walk it to the squat rack and set it down. Now, that walking the clean, which I'm really comfortable with, I just did 10 cleans at this weight, and then walking it to the squat rack, I'm like,
I know. So who else? Cruz does that. Remember, he does his clean and then he kicks
yeah.
his feet out all like the Leonidas style, and I'm like, dude, that looks so dangerous. But
Andre Cruz? Wait, what kicks his feet out? What do you mean?
he does a heavy clean, catches it here, or sometimes he does a full
Over. Yeah.
overhead press or push press, and then like he'll just like kick his feet forward, like to accentuate that
I
he
have
does it.
not seen that.
I imagine it's just for Instagram, frankly, but it looks cool, but it also looks dangerous. One
Yeah.
kick, you know, maybe he starts watching Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders too much. He kicks too high, and then all of a sudden that weight just slips a little back
Yeah,
over his
yikes.
heels, and then it just, and then and then that's the end of him. I hope. I mean, he seems like he knows what he's doing. I guess he's okay, but it makes me a little nervous.
Right. But the idea that you train one specific thing and then a little bit of a twist or a variable happens and then you just become super weak. That's how I feel right now.
Mm.
That even if my rings were a little bigger or smaller or higher or lower or whatever,
Or maybe like if the height isn't perfect or like
Yeah,
not perfectly equal, or
right.
I wonder if the ring width makes a difference,
Well,
the
so
thickness.
High Mat has a thicker ring and they're wood, and then mine at home are plastic and smaller. So I at least know I can switch, but the smaller is definitely better for me, my little lady hands.
The slender. I prefer a slender ring.
Yeah, no, should I do bar muscle up next? Because that's a completely different skill. That's what it feels like, you know?
You know, you probably should. You should also start watching the Olympics and then really just understand how absolutely weak and pathetic you are. That's what I've
Yeah,
been doing.
it's great. Really
Like
helpful
the pommel
to
horse.
realize that the thing I spent 2 years on getting a muscle up is just the baseline to start. They don't even start the clock yet. You muscle
I
up to get onto
know.
the rings, and then they're like, okay, now you can begin.
Right, right. They're getting into position. It's like
That
walking
took
up to
me
the
two
starting
years.
line. Almost there.
Walking to the starting line was my magnum opus.
Right, right. Whew. Yeah, like the pommel horse. That's the one that looks the dumbest and easiest, and it is so incredibly hard. I can't even. It's one of
Breakdancing
those.
too.
It's one of those ones where you can't even start. You can't
No,
even
you just
start to
you
do
just
it.
sit on the ground and go, "Oh my goodness."
You're like, Hold on." That's how I was with when I did slacklining in Santa Monica. I'd see guys walk the thing or they'd jump and do flips or whatever. I would stand up and my leg would just wobble and then I would just fall. And I'm like, I don't understand what this is or how you're doing it, but I can't even. It's like signing up to play water polo and I don't know how to swim. And also I sink. It was like that level of like insanity. Pommel horse
Yeah.
is crazy. Rings actually used to be when I did gymnastics, rings was my favorite one. But it was also I was much lighter, and I don't think it took a lot of strength to pick me up and pick myself up and do stuff. And
So
they
you
had
were
rings.
doing ring muscle ups.
Yeah, but I was like 10. So
So it's mostly just like swinging your hips and getting up over them.
right. Yeah. And the best part of the rings was that it was over the foam pit. You know those foam pits?
Yeah.
So I didn't really care what they wanted me to do as long as I could face
Just flip
dive into
around
the
and let
foam
go.
pit
Yeah.
after.
Which getting out of a foam pit is
Oh,
such a workout.
I
What
know.
the heck? Talk about total body, different angles.
I remember I was like running my mouth a little bit in gymnastics class one time, and the guy just threw me into the foam pit, and I was like, "Yeah," well, and then by the time I got out, I was like, "I told you, I told you." And he's like, "What's that? Do you want to keep yapping?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me 20 minutes," and then I just I just like laid into a ball, and I think I just lay there for like the rest of the class.
I think my new cardio is going to be just 30 minutes of getting out of a foam pit.
I know. I've never done. Have you ever done one of those trampoline like runways? I see on
No.
Jack Jerry on his Instagram does it all the time. It's like it's just like a. I mean, it's just what it sounds like. It's a runway that is a trampoline, and so that people do cartwheel into back handspring or front handsprings, and then at the end is a foam pit, so they do a little twist and they don't have to land
Yeah.
anything, and they don't have to
And I guess is that a step like training wheels to get to floor work where you are just doing that on a sprung floor as opposed to trampoline?
I
Or is it
think
its own thing in
so.
itself?
I think it's its own thing because they're uh well, I guess I don't know. I mean, they're doing the
Because
moves
there's
that
no
you end up
trampoline
doing.
in the Olympics, is there?
I don't think so. What
Yeah.
would it be? They got some weird stuff in the Olympics. They got they got tennis but no baseball. What are we doing? They tried to nix wrestling a couple of years, and everybody's like, it's in the logo.
That's
They have
the
like
first thing they did,
they
right?
have like well, I think it's the second. The first thing was running.
Yeah.
I'll race you over there. Boom, Olympics.
Yeah, but they added
Uh,
breakdancing this year, which is so subjective. Man, you're gonna add stuff, at least add things that you can math about.
they added breakdancing? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. Which is
You know, it's so
kind of
stupid.
gymnastic. I mean,
My f-
windmills are just a pommel horse with no pommel horse.
right? So what do they wear?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
Jinko jeans in the
Yeah, what?
USA flag
Sir, please
Jinko jeans.
remove your your wallet chain to compete.
Ugh. That's funny. Jeans was what size jeans was my second thought. My first thought was, is that a summer or winter Olympics? Yeah, summer makes sense. As if that matters in the slightest. God, it was so stupid.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess it's a little colder on a cardboard on the street
Yeah,
in
you need that
winter.
more that humidity.
Yeah, I mean, it's so impressive and so hard to breakdance, but the idea of then judging that is so rough. But I guess we're like, how do you judge bodybuilding? And Stanimal's like, no, you know exactly. It is very much science.
Yeah,
So I guess there's probably a lot of science to judging breakdancing, or they will find it, just like the adding and taking away points in gymnastics or figure skating.
yeah. I don't know. It falls into that frustrating category for me, which is if breakdancing is really similar to gymnastics, why do we have both? Why do we have
Oh
different
yeah.
swimming strokes? Shouldn't it
Oh
be
yeah,
just
let's
go
go.
there to
Let go ahead,
there?
rant.
You know, it's just I feel like I've made this rant a million times, but why are some things sports? Why are some things not sports? Why are some things different types of medal sport? Like why do we have butterfly versus freestyle swimming? Shouldn't it be just a race you over there?
Yeah. Get there as fast as possible on steroids.
Right. Why is there a 100-meter dash, a 200-meter dash, and a 400? Where's the 205? Where's the 316? Where's
Right.
the,
Where's
what are we doing?
basketball with the 3 foot hoop? Because I
Yeah.
would
Or the
crush.
sideways hoop. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I assume basketball to me was always like, all right, so you got soccer, right? What if we just reflected that vertically?
That's what you think basketball is? I
So the
mean, I
goal's not on
guess,
the
yeah.
ground, it's in the air. Oh, can we use our feet? No. Yeah, no. Oh, we'll use our hands. Oh, perfect. New sport. Boom, done.
What else could
Write
we
it
do that
down.
with?
You
Diagonal
could go wall.
tennis.
There you go. Tennis.
Pickleball, when's that going to be in the Olympics?
Is ping pong in the Olympics? Yeah, right? It is. Table
Yes.
tennis.
Yes.
So
And
pickleball's on
then
its way for
curling, which is the
sure.
one everyone's like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, I think they could.
Sure.
Have
And
you
you
ever
can't.
curled?
No, but I would be super great and obviously qualify immediately for the Olympics.
Should we find a do they have ice skating rinks in LA? Yeah, they
Yes,
must, right?
I'm in. But see,
Should we
then it's going to be hard
curl?
to not skate. So what's the
Well,
Summer Olympic
also
thing that everyone's like, "Oh, I could do that." Archery? No, that looks hard. That shooting
speed
also
walking.
seems like they are athletes, even though they're just standing there going bang.
I just saw a thing today that was like, for as much as the United States loves guns, they've never medaled in a single shooting Olympics. They have zero gun medals in the Olympics.
Oh, well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, I'll see you in 4 years. Boom, boom.
Yeah, what's the Olympic sport that you have to train the least for? This is the equivalent of me asking Nikki Lyons, what's the coolest looking calisthenics thing that took the least amount of work? Are you
All right.
Googling it? Which, by the
Yeah,
way,
but
I'm still working on my back lever, but I am getting closer.
nice. How close?
Oh, how far off the ground? No, okay, so I could do just like in a ball was the start, and then extending like your knees is the next step, and then one leg is another step, and now I have two legs extended with my knees bent, And so really the step after that is to, well, hold that for way longer and then freaking straighten your legs out.
Mm. Well,
I
keep me
was,
posted.
yeah, absolutely I will. What did you find on the easiest Olympic sport?
Uh, it's not quite, not a lot of good answers. They're
You
saying
didn't just get,
archery or air rifle. They're saying shooting guns. They say that horses deserve the medal more than riders in a lot of equestrian events.
buy a good
Um,
horse. Okay.
mm,
Okay, if you could be an Olympic athlete, what sport would you want it to be?
oof. I think I would say, what sport would I want it to be? Shoot. And I'm good at it, or am I just there?
Oh, right. Why, is it change?
Well, yeah, like you throw me in the pool and I'm like, I'm an Olympic swimmer. And then everyone's like, and I'm like, guys, there's water in my goggles. We got to start over.
No, what skill would you want to be good at enough to get to the Olympics? I guess that makes it a like, what is the most transferable thing? What's the most useful thing to do?
I mean, I guess, I don't know.
Swimming, because you could just take home a bunch of medals with the same skill.
Yeah, I was thinking swimming. I was also thinking about, um, like, would I want to do all the training that goes along with that, you know? That's a
We get
lot
to
of
do all
time
the
just
eating too.
in a pool. Yeah, you get to eat a lot, which is the opposite of my lifestyle, training style, whatever,
So
sports
I'm
style.
not going swimming because they have to have some body fat to help them float. I'm going, I want something with a physique that
Hmm.
is spot on.
Well, there's weightlifting. Judo, pretty good.
Weightlifting, like, you could, yeah, you're still pretty beefy, right?
Oh yeah.
I know, I guess not because you're explosive. It's
Oh,
not powerlifting.
you want rugby. That's what you want. Have you
Yeah.
seen there's this I'm blanking on her name right now, but she's going mini viral for how much of a beast at US women's rugby.
Hmm.
Um, and
Okay, maybe
she's
that's the one.
incredible.
Do I want to risk concussions? Yeah, probably.
Well, I would say that
See,
she gives a lot more concussions than she receives.
would you go team sport? I guess I do want friends that are also Olympic athletes. So yeah,
Oh yeah, that's true.
to be emotionally connected to people that not just all the training hours, but the
Not
put it
just
in with your
alone.
team is really fun.
I guess I would say, I mean, if I had my choice, I'll go USA basketball. Why not?
Sure, then you'd be
I'm
very tall.
suddenly on the dream team, and everyone's like, "What is he doing here?" And they're like, "He's actually the linchpin. He's the glue that holds this whole group together. So back off." And then they'd be like, "How many minutes has he logged?" And they're like, it's not about the minutes. He still gets a medal. And I
Just
probably
a
wouldn't even
bench
have,
warmer.
I could be on the team and I wouldn't have to do anything. In fact, I could have the same amount of skill that I have now, and I would be on the USA men's
Yeah.
basketball team and they would dominate and I would get a gold medal just for being there.
Yeah. Why don't they do that for Make-A-Wish kids? Just let
I
them be on
know.
the
Just
team and sit on
throw
the
them on
bench.
there. Who cares? We're
Why
winning by
not? Get a medal.
60.
Do you think there are people on the men's basketball or any basketball team, any team sport in the Olympics that end up never getting
Playing
playtime?
time? Probably.
Wow, that's crazy. I'd still take it. Screw it. You get to
You get the
do the
medal.
march in on the opening ceremony.
You get that cool Ralph Lauren jacket. Did you see that? Did you watch the
Yes.
opening ceremony?
I
Did you
mean,
see they're all wearing jeans?
every year it's a big deal what they wear and who designed it.
I thought it was Ralph Polo Ralph Lauren
Oh,
for
it's
like the
always them.
last 20 years
That's
or
because they
something.
trademarked red, white, and blue. We have to use them.
They trademarked it. Those suckers. Ilana Mayer. That's the I don't know if I'm saying that right or wrong. Ilona. I'll send her. She's incredible. Rugby, women's rugby beast. And there's just these clips of her just trucking people, and you're like, okay, well that's not fair, but all right, good. But
This is
neither
the
is
opposite of figure skater, which was going to be my first choice.
Really? You were going figure skater? Singles or
Yeah,
pairs?
because it's dance and athletic. You're explosive, but also ballet.
Captivating.
Yeah, yeah, and you get to express yourself to music. Yeah, forget it. Forget
And
rugby. I'm going ice dancing. Not ice dancing, figure skating. So I'm
you
doing
capture
quads at
hearts,
this point. You know, when I was
quads
figure skating, they didn't even have quads. That wasn't a thing.
for
You could,
can women do quads? Is
some
that a
women can do quads.
whoa? I remember triple was like the big one.
That's it. That
And they
was
were
the one. That
like,
was it. That was the end. We have
I
reached
feel like
it.
one guy did a quad like in not in competition, just like in the gym, and I was like, oh my god! So that's how up to date I am on the figure skating.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was the 5 minute mile. I wasn't even aware that, oh, this is a human thing that we think is a limitation and can break.
So would you do singles or pairs, or would you do
Singles, no question.
singles? No, yeah, yeah, fair.
Or, I guess I don't know. That's unfair because I've never done pairs. So I don't
I
know.
think
Maybe it's cool having a partner
I
getting
think singles
tossed
you get
around.
the glory for sure,
Yeah.
but the pairs stuff they're doing is insane, and also like half the time you're not, I'm not spinning in the air, but I am throwing my tiny partner in the air with, I hope she lands, but that's on her. And
Yeah.
like the girl is like not doing anything. She's just air floating and her face is, millimeters away from the
Death
ice.
drop.
And she's
Yeah.
like, well, I hope I don't sneeze or anything because I'll die. Seems insanely difficult.
Yeah, that is
Both
cool.
both things seem difficult. And then working
But you both
together
have
is
to agree on the song. Mm.
Fergalicious. Boom, done.
Have they ever done pairs where it's two men or two women? I can't imagine it being two women just because the strength required for the tossing, but I you could probably find a
Yeah.
smaller dude that would be willing to
I
be the
think
one tossed.
they did, and they made a documentary about it,
Wait,
I
really?
think. It's called Blades of Glory. It's
What?
good. You should watch it.
Oh,
It's really
okay. I
good.
thought you were joking and that was just some like hockey movie or something and messing with me.
No, but Miracle is one of my favorite hockey movies, and I didn't even play hockey, but I love that movie. And all my dumb hockey friends, I didn't like hockey because of all the people I went to high school with who played hockey. And then after watching Miracle, I love hockey now, and I love hockey players, and I think they're so funny. They're so
Would you
endearing.
pick hockey?
No, hockey stinks. You literally stink if you play hockey, and there's
Yeah.
no
Oh
way
man,
around
it's
it.
a very specific stink.
Yeah,
Everyone's hockey bag smells the
stinks,
same kind of stink.
and it's so bad. Also, sidebar, not to like derail you or anything, but I'm pretty shocked you're going Winter Olympics, not Summer Olympics,
Why?
because Winter Olympics are clearly not as cool as Summer
What?
Olympics.
What are you talking about? That it
What are you
is
talking about? Have you ever seen them?
unequivocally Winter Olympics are way better.
What? Are you
Skiing, snowboarding,
keep making my
skating.
make my point for me. Keep going.
What?
Sprinting, gymnastics, other
Wow.
track and field stuff that I don't like,
Oh
but is
my, look at me throw
undeniably
a
cool.
little rock.
Who are the two coolest Olympians you can think of off the top of your head? Quick, 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 quick.
God damn it,
Phelps,
because we just
Usain
said
Bolt.
Michael
Boom,
Phelps.
done. Boom, done. The girls' gymnastics team, is that winter or summer?
They are very cool.
What's cool
Ah!
in what's cool in Winter Olympics? Figure skating, women's figure skating,
Sure. Oh, but not men?
men's figure skating. But no, men's figure skating is not as cool as women's figure skating. Just like women's gymnastics is
They're-
way cooler than men's gymnastics. I didn't make the rules, just that's just
What?
how it is. That is
Oh.
that's not how I feel. I just think that they're way more popular.
Do you not like delts or iron crosses? What
I
men's?
love them. I love these things. I'm just cluing you into the rest of society seems to think that
Hmm.
they are all infatuated with Simone Biles. Name a guy on the men's
Right.
Olympic gymnastics team.
So you're saying
I'm
like
saying
overarchingly popular culturally, summer wins.
yes. And also, my personal preference is summer. I think it's way cooler. But I'm also,
Yeah.
dialed into current event trends in society. I know you're like a little bit of a mountain person, and you live in the forest and you don't know things. Yeah.
Hmm.
Which one does your mom prefer?
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, did you make sure that you brought up the mom? She would probably say winter, but that's
Summer.
because she watched and smelled my brother play hockey our whole lives and
The
watched
brother.
me figure skate.
I think I think it's pretty unequivocally clear that summer is accepted as the cooler Olympics for sure.
Gus Kentworley. Ah, that took me too long.
Who's that? Is that a guy on the gymnastics team? Is that the guy with the
No,
glasses? He's
he's a
incredible.
skier.
Oh,
He's a freestyle skier and he's a social media star and Olympian. I don't know if he's doing it. I don't know if it was his last year or not, but he was like a big deal
yep.
and openly gay. And
Great.
this is probably still not beating Simone Biles. Doesn't she have a Netflix show?
Yep. Because she decided to quit
Ah,
halfway through. She was like, I'm kind of burned out. And then she came back like 4 years later and she's still dominating. She's incredible.
also,
Uh,
Gus Kentworthy goes to Hi Matt. I think I texted you when he was lifting next to me, and you're like, "Who's that?"
yeah, you
So
did.
more further
I
proof he's not
apologize.
popular enough.
I apologize, Gus. My bad. I wasn't familiar with your game.
The only reason I knew is because he had a water bottle with Olympic rings on it. I
Oh,
could
not a
tell.
tattoo?
How cool is that too, to get an Olympic tattoo?
It is so cool. I
You
saw
definitely have to.
it is the opposite of all the other like loser tattoos that I've seen. Like like there's one that's like a USA wrestling tattoo that a lot of people have. Um
Well, the idea of getting a Pittsburgh Penguins tattoo is not crazy if I was that much of a fan, but
no no
getting an
no.
Olympic
You don't
tattoo when
get
you're
it if
not an Olympian,
you don't get it if you're a fan. You get it.
people who are huge fans of sports teams will
I
get
know.
a tattoo of the sports team. But when you think about it, you're like, wait a minute, you didn't play for them.
Right? I had the opposite reaction. I was getting a keychain or a what's it called? A lanyard. Do you remember
Yeah,
lanyards? I got a lanyard
sure.
that said US Air Force. And I was like, because Brittany's parents were both in the Air Force, her dad.
Stealing valor.
Right.
You taught me that.
I didn't want to appear as though I was stealing valor. And I was like, is that weird? And then I was like, no, dude, you wear a Red Sox hat. You're not on the Red Sox. You're just a fan. You can be a fan of the Air Force. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I am a fan of the Air Force. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah.
they're
All
pretty
right,
great.
cool. It's nice swinging around, Phelps,
Yeah.
Biles, Usain Bolt, Carl Lewis, Cherie, what is her last? I can't remember her last name, but she's incredible. The sprinter, she's so funny. Jesse
Yeah.
Owens,
Didn't
Thorpe,
this,
the
isn't she?
torpedo,
I don't know who that is, but
Carrie
that is a great name.
Strug, all those girls in the '96
Yeah,
Olympic, all the USA men's basketball Olympians. They're technically Olympians, although
whatever.
that's kind
Yeah,
of
that's
a
true.
shady one. Um,
You're cheating, you're Googling.
I'm googling hottest, coolest Olympians of the 21st century.
We could just
Ledecky,
change our
remember
Tinder
Ledecky in swimming?
location. Just put your Tinder location at Paris right at their village.
I didn't even know you could do that. Someone was
Pretty
telling me a
sure you
story
can.
about like she was like, oh yeah, I matched with this guy um on Tinder. I was visiting. What was happening? She was visiting like I don't remember. Call it like Denver. Okay, she was visiting Tinder, and while she was there, or she was sorry, she was visiting Denver. While she's there, she's
Yeah.
on Tinder. She matched with somebody, and he's like, "Oh, I'll be there in a while. I just have to drive there, and I'm in like another state or two states over." And so it was this really weird, like, "I'll drive to you" or blah blah blah. It was like a long, long story. And then halfway through the story, I'm like, "Hold on, how did you match on Tinder? Aren't you?
Hmm.
Isn't it a location thing?" And she's like, "Wow, you've been out of the game for a little too long." I'm like, "So you use a phone to meet people?" Yeah, it was bad. It was fucking embarrassing. Oh well,
I mean,
whatever.
I can't be the first person that thought of that, so it's probably happening like crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if they're enforcing that. They got those cardboard beds. So ridiculous. My God.
Oh yeah. That were, what was it that they're recyclable? They built them beds or whatever, but then they were falling apart.
Uh, they've been doing cardboard beds for a long time because, and they say that it's for the environment. However, I'm pretty reasonably sure it's because it's cheaper and they're going to throw them all out as soon as the Olympics is over.
Sure.
Also, actually, we should have talked about this a while ago. Do you know that they did not have air conditioning for the Olympic Village as because they were trying Paris Olympic Committee or whatever, the French Olympic Committee was trying to be more environmentally friendly by not having air conditioning.
How are we
And
supposed to break world records if we're not giving our athletes the best possible conditions?
and specifically the best conditions.
When you're sleeping, I was just gonna say, if I was in the Olympics, I would fly my 8 sleep mattress to the Olympic Village, no question.
Mateo made a big stink about it on Twitter, or maybe Instagram.
Good.
He was like, "This is ridiculous. These athletes need to recover, like temperature." And they were saying like, "We promise the temperature won't be below like it was it was like 89 or no 79 or something like that, like something maybe like 82 because they were like, "There's a cross breeze," and you're like, "All right, there is a cross breeze. You will not be able to tell like what is happening." And so then all these other countries started saying like, yeah, screw that. A, we're shipping air conditioning units with our athletes. B, I think Mateo was it's actually kind of a, if I have to say it, it was kind of a bit of a missed opportunity because he was like, I'll say
Olympics brought to you by 8 sleep.
I pledged to send like 5 8 sleeps to the first 5 Olympic match Olympians that like comment on this Instagram post. And I was like, dude, send them to the whole US team. Boom, done. It'll pay for itself. But I don't think
Yeah, I know, because I feel like that product sells itself and they would just talk about it and show it. And
and the Olympians would all tell each other, and then
I
all you really
know.
need is the whole U.S. team, and then they'd tell all their,
Yeah,
it
that's
would
word of mouth. How do we get the Olympians listening to Total Fitheads? That's the new marketing scheme.
just mail them like a speaker. That's like the equivalent of the guy on Hollywood Boulevard handing you his CD with his like his he's like, "Yo man, I'm a
Yeah.
rapper. Here, 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 here." And you're like,
It'll be
"Okay,
fun,
okay,
folks.
thanks, man. Thanks, thanks."
Yeah, mail a little iPod Touch that's already subscribed to
An
just
iPod
us.
Touch. Oh my God. Although they could backfire. It's like when iPhones came preloaded with all the U2 music, and everybody was like,
I
I
know,
do
everyone's like,
hate U2. I forgot that I hate U2. But thanks, iPhone. Thanks for reminding me. That was like that's what everybody, all my friends at least. My dad like hated U2 all of a sudden. I'm like, do you know U2? He's like, well, it's on my friggin' iPhone. And I'm like, okay.
I'm looking up the cardboard bed, so they're talking about it again this year, huh?
Well, I don't know if they did it for
Yeah.
the first time this year, but I thought I remember them doing it the other ones. And I think it was
Yep.
environmentally friendly. But it's
And they
like
say
beds, dude.
Paris,
That's what we're doing. Beds.
right?
Beds, you know?
I know, that's what they need too. Ugh. And the first night effect, and well, I guess they got to stay there a while and get used to
Well, you know what
recovering
I was
there.
thinking is I was also thinking like, because in a perfect world, you're there for as an Olympian. When do you want your event over the whole Olympics? How long are the Olympics? Like a month or 4 weeks?
16 days.
Two
And
weeks?
I definitely have an answer to this. What's your answer?
Halfway? I think the midpoint.
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe a
answer.
little earlier. No,
Yeah.
it's 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 only 2 weeks. That's it. I thought it was like 3 or 4 weeks. Anyway, I would
No,
want it.
16 days. Well, this year at least, I don't know if they've changed it, but for sure
Yeah,
during the opening ceremonies they said 16 days. And I was like, huh, that is 2 weeks and 2 days. It took me a second.
yeah. Because you don't want it on the last day because you want to party
Oh
like crazy.
no.
The Olympic Village sounds like the
You want to
biggest,
be
coolest party.
done.
Well, although it sounds like a location where the coolest people are partying. Is it the coolest party? Probably
Right.
not.
That's a good point. The coolest
These
people
people,
in terms of athletic brilliance are
right.
partying. Is it the coolest
They
party?
are
I don't know.
partying. Right. It's
You
not the
can't have
coolest
sex on
party.
the bed, it's gonna fall apart.
And none of them drank in 3.5 years, and none of them
Nope.
like know what a they're doing keg stands, but not drinking out of the keg. And I'm like, okay, well, that's just a handstand, Simone. But but then also you don't. So if by that logic you don't want it on the last day, so then you work backwards. But you don't want it on the first day because you need a couple of days
No.
to acclimate. You got to get your hours right. You got to get your whatever you're
Yeah,
sleeping
time zone
on
change. I didn't
right.
even think about that. Oh my goodness, the first day. Well, but you show up before. If you're an Olympic athlete, you're there
Yeah.
a week
Oh,
before.
but you want to get like we were talking about that first night. You want to get acclimated. You want to have a restful night, or maybe you just don't even stay
Do
in
they
the
let you
village
move
until.
in? Can you stay in the village before?
I don't
If
think
that's the
so.
case, I want to go on day one. I want to
Right.
march in and then do my thing and be done and party for 16 days and watch
Right.
everyone else.
Do my figure skating competition in the middle of July, and everyone's like, "How did you
I'm like,
do
shh,
that?"
I'm make a
I'm
wish,
like,
kid. Just chill.
also I won, so that was my wish. What if you're a Make-A-Wish kid? Your wish is to like compete in the Olympics, and they're like, "Sure, no problem," and then you just get destroyed.
It's just an absolute embarrassment. Uh,
Oh, the kid lost in ping pong 21 nothing 11 times in a row. Wow.
you get hit in the
Wow,
face
good
a
for
few
him.
times.
He's an Olympian. Why did he pick boxing? I don't know. He didn't he actually didn't pick, but we had an extra slot.
Uh, yeah. But if
So
you can't get into your bed before day one, then you want middle. I would say first 25%.
yeah,
Because
that's
I
what I was
feel like
thinking.
my recovery would decline. My recovery would be bad when I first got there and slowly get better and then still decline into the following week because I'm not on my 8 sleep mattress.
Right. I guess you check your 8 sleep match. But yeah, I think you want it if I'm really focused on my athletic performance in my entire life, I want it halfway. If I'm focused on having fun, I want it a couple of days after I get there, knock out my event, pick up my gold medal
Yeah.
at the table, and then just go party the whole time. Never take my medal off, obviously. Only wear my
No,
medal.
of course not. Yes.
I'd ask for, you know what I'd ask for? I'd ask for like a bigger uh what is that called? The ribbon?
Yeah.
I'd ask for a bigger ribbon so that I could wear it like a belt. You know what I mean?
Whoa. I
And
like
then I would
that.
just walk around with not wearing anything except my belt medal.
Yeah. I would definitely wear mine just with a sports bra at any place that would require a shirt because that
Right,
counts. No one's
of
going to be like,
course.
"Excuse me, ma'am, you need to have a shirt on." I'm like, Have you seen my
This
Olympic
this is a medal.
medal?"
Yeah. This is
That
coverage. This is all the
counts.
coverage you need.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. Olympics. I can't believe you think winter is better than summer. That or I assume you don't think that anymore. I talked you out of it.
No, I definitely still think that, but your criteria was popularity versus actual coolness. Pun.
I would still argue that. I mean, what is the Winter Olympics have that the summer does not? Because you can't
Summer
skate figure
Olympic
skating because we got gymnastics and that crushes. That's in the same ballpark, and this one crushes that one.
gymnastics is just rolling around on the ground, and it's so subjective. You should roll around on knives on your feet
Figure
and
skating,
be
you're not even doing
subjective.
anything. You're just sliding. They just pushed you out. They strapped some weird shit. Yeah, they strapped knives on your feet and they just pushed you. And you're like, whoa, spin, 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 whoa. That's it. That's figure skating.
I'm looking up the events for summer now. They call
Volleyball. We
it
have
breaking.
beach volleyball. Are you kidding me?
Handball?
Beach volleyball.
Wait, why is hockey in here? Oh, I guess this is not. Yeah, hockey is listed on Summer Olympics on Olympics.com for some reason.
Hey, Olympics.com. Figure it out.
Yeah, will it?
Olympics.com. I've never been there. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Who's front and center? Simone Biles, Team USA. Bing, bang, boom.
Bing bang boom. BMX racing. Cricket. Did not know that. I should have. Rhythmic gymnastics. Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, they can't all be winners.
Okay, I'm looking up winter sports now.
Schedule. I'm looking up schedule for Olympic schedule. Uh,
Oh, there are
we
way
got
less Winter
we got
Olympic sports.
yep, we got triathlon, we got badminton, we got beach volleyball, all the shooting, that's in the summer.
Bobsled, come
Rowing,
on. That's so stupid and weird and cool.
bobsled is cool. It is slightly cooler than rowing. I would say it's significantly cooler
Skeleton,
than rowing. Skeleton is lunatic bobsledding. We got horses, we got
speed
equestrian.
skating. Oh my goodness.
Speed skating, is speed skating cooler than track? No, it's not. It's really
Yeah,
not.
I know. All the summer ones are really primal.
They're
They're
much
the first thing
cooler.
you do when you get a body. You just run or then
Mm.
punch someone in the face or wrestle them to the ground.
Or get on a horse.
Eh.
Or play table tennis. It's like the
Yes, indeed.
cavemen. When cavemen invented table tennis, do you think they were worried about their fatigue and recovery?
I bet there's a lot of equipment drama in table tennis that we don't know about in the
Oh
same way
yeah.
that the clap skate or that suit that helped water
Yeah,
track
buoyancy.
past you and lower
Well,
drag was illegal.
there's a big swimming controversy this year. Did you know this?
Oh, really? Go on.
Yeah. The French are being accused of slowing down the water
When they
because
put
their
oil in
team.
it?
So apparently the depth of the pool matters. And in swimming, Olympic swimming, there's a minimum depth. I think it's not that deep. It's like 3 or 4 meters. It's like not super deep. And the more choppy the water, so when you're swimming, you're pushing water down and it bounces off the bottom of the pool and then comes back up. So there's a lot of the
So
water
it
gets
matters which
choppy.
lane you're in.
It matters which lane you're in. It matters how deep the water is. It matters who else is like, it's all this weird
Yeah.
stuff, apparently. So the Paris Olympic pool, I think the minimum it has to be, I think, is 3 4 meters, and it's like 25 meters. And so the waves are taking longer to get to the bottom, and they're bouncing softer and they're softer left. So the water is not as choppy when they're swimming. So because their team, somehow it's a weird thing where like, I listened to half a TikTok and this girl's like really breaking
Sure.
down the ins and outs of Olympic pools and stuff like that. And she's like, so it's
So
actually like
deeper
really
actually slows you
ridiculous.
down.
So what they were saying was not a single competitor, like all of the times are slow. You know what I
Ah,
mean? Like in
yeah.
Australia a few years ago, the Sydney Olympics, they were just like shattering world record after world record after world record. And they were saying, like, well, yes, these are the greatest swimmers ever, and this is the greatest Olympics ever, blah, 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 blah. But part of it is the pool is like it's a kiddie pool. And so they're
Upside
just
down.
slamming up, beating the hell out of the water. And apparently that was like a big thing.
Okay, so it's helping propel them. God,
Controversy.
that's crazy. See, well, this goes along with your able to play defense, and it's all about the current situation, not necessarily
Yeah,
the
that's true. And I
perfect
was
scenario where you're finding the height of human ability.
weird.
Yeah.
I'll try to find the TikTok and send it to you. But yeah, it's a weird, but
Okay.
yeah, Summer Olympics. That's the way to go.
Shut up. So how have I mentioned this to you before? Because I think about it all the time. So stop me if I have. Uh, I would like to posit that if you are a top tier athlete swimmer and you're not shaving your head, you do not take being top tier seriously. This includes women, right?
Well, they wear
Everyone,
caps.
sure, but don't you think that even the shape of the cap and your hair tucked in there, that means you are valuing your physical appearance in front of other humans more than your time in the pool?
I agree. Allow me to rebut that.
Rebut
One,
away.
I assume if okay, fine. If I'm that swimmer that doesn't shave my head, face, neck, arms, crotch, whatever,
Are there
I
any
am
bearded
assuming
swimmers? No,
no.
that's probably by design.
Well, they all shave because of that specifically what you're talking
Sure.
about. However,
Sentiment
the
here.
caps, I would suggest, or if I was an Olympic swimmer and I had 4 years to figure that out, I would test that theory. I would
You would
shave,
shave your head.
shoo, I would shave, dolphin, seal, whatever. I'd run
Oh
it
yeah,
like swim
everything.
time. And then I'd be like, I don't know, let's have like a little crew cut. And or I'll put the swim cap on. And if it wasn't significant, then it's you just assuming things from your couch covered in Cheeto dust, I believe.
First of all,
Two, if
it was
I'm
Doritos.
Cooler Ranch. Two, if I am going to dedicate my life to the dumbest thing in the world, which is butterfly strokes swimming,
Okay.
and I'm
That's
going to do
just in
that
your
for
opinion.
not only my entire life, but very, very outrageously focused for 3.5 years, 3 point whatever, 9 years in between an Olympics.
Wow.
I'm going to want some mental well-being. And if part of that is having luxurious, beautiful, shortish hair, then yeah, I'm going to stick with that because that's going to keep me happy. And if I'm happy, I'm getting in the pool. And if I'm in the pool, I'm going to be training. And if I'm training, I'm going to be winning.
So you think the psychological runoff of being hot with hair is
Yep.
going to improve your time?
I mean, why else do people sign up for swimming? Obviously, it's for the girls.
To be hot with a little bit of body fat. You're right. You are correct.
My biggest pet peeve with swimming, I mean, put it on the list. One of my pet
Yeah.
peeves on swimming is there was always the implication, or maybe like years ago there was, but they were like, yeah, swimmers, they're in such good shape, they can go forever. Like, and in my life, I've been in good shape and I've been in really kind of crappy shape. Relative, it's all
Hmm.
relative. And that has not affected my ability to go
Go
forever
forever.
at all. In fact, it has surprised me, and none of that made any sense. And the timings were so like just like I tested it. I tested my hair in
Yeah,
the swimming
sure.
pool,
Scientifically.
and
But you're not supposed to technically go at all because then that will make you a better athlete, hence the cardboard beds.
that's what they say. But who's they? Cavemen, and who are cavemen?
And also like ancient Chinese men as well. You got to keep your chi, right? Don't release your
Uh,
chi.
I don't know if that's true. I've heard both sides. I
Oh,
think you have to
right.
be
You've
what's his
heard the other
name?
side of it
Yeah.
where
There's a lot
you
of famous
would
basketball players that said that a lot of boxers have gone on both ends of the spectrum there.
hmm.
I think, honestly, I think it's your mental well-being, your mental health. That's what I think is most important. That's why you
Oh,
don't get
that's
a
so hard
weird
to
haircut.
quantify. Okay, and I just realized I take it back, not figure skating, because then my career is over when I'm 13. For real, that's it. Like
I
that's
know.
you're getting really close to the cutoff once
20,
you hit the
20,
teens.
20. You're like, whoa, whoa, you're still here? Yeah. It's like,
Yeah. It's like, you gonna start drinking, you better take those blades off.
yeah, yeah. Oh, God, it's so
So what
tough.
what are the oldest people at the Olympics?
There's a
We'll Google
61-year-old
that.
old table tennis player, and she's dominating. She's killing
Yeah?
everybody. It's
Okay,
so
I call table
awesome.
tennis. And it's the sport that keeps your brain, well, racket sports are the sports
Yeah.
that keep your brain in check the best. So
I
I'm
suppose
fully changing table
technically
tennis.
now, what if I said like I think basketball is such a cop out because if I'm on the Olympic basketball team, I'm probably in the NBA. Just like you could say tennis,
Yeah,
but if you're on the Olympic tennis team, you're probably like a world renowned tennis
that's
pro.
true. So then you're
That's
also
kind of
making
like,
dollars on your.
right. So I feel like if we're really gonna hold our feet to the fire, it should be a sport that's like kind of weird and doesn't have a pro circuit that's popular and well paying. I'm
You know,
sure
it
there's a
used to
pro.
be you couldn't compete in the Olympics and make money on your sport.
Yeah, I
You
know.
had to be amateur,
What a
not a
weird.
professional. The definition is you make money doing the thing.
Yeah.
So a
And then
professional blank gets
then they had the
paid.
dream
And
team.
when you switch to professional, you could no longer Olympics.
You
When
lose
did
your
they
amateur
change that?
status.
It was in our lifetime, right?
92.
Hmm.
That's the dream team. That's what I'm guessing.
So, oh,
That's when
when
they had the
the
basketball
basketball
players.
players,
I
yeah.
think in like 80, I think they were sending like NCAA college players and they were still winning, not just murdering. And then in '88, there's this bizarre like game where the USA won, but then the Soviets like put an extra second on the clock, and then they did a tip ball in, and then it was just really weird. You should look that one up. That's a good rabbit hole to go down. It's like
Yeah.
they snatched a gold away from the Olympic men's college team, and then in '92 they were like, okay, here's Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and screw you guys, screw you world. We're gonna
World. We got this.
So table tennis is a great one. I hate to say it because I make fun of swimming all the time, but I would take swimming. I think it'd be pretty fun, pretty cool. Everyone seems to like you. You get to have
Everyone seems to like you.
you could win
Oh
a
yeah, and you get to wear a
billion medals.
Speedo.
You get
You
to wear a
wear the least
Speedo.
amount of clothes.
You get to show up in a robe. That's really fun. You can get a gajillion medals for doing the same thing, just slightly different every time.
It's slightly different. Yeah, okay.
Um, although, I mean, was there a cooler guy than Usain Bolt ever on this planet? I think you could make the case that he was the coolest guy ever. You know,
Yeah. Chicken nuggets.
have you seen those ones
Wow.
of him just dapping up like line judges and stuff before he starts?
No, that's great.
He would
Or
just stand
celebrating
there.
before he finishes.
He'd stand there and like to be sort of warming up for like the biggest race of his life, and then they're like every athlete or competitor I think has somebody there to sort of escort them to the thing, and okay, this guy will hold my shoes and my jacket or whatever, or my warm-ups, and he's always there, or this guy will make sure that the line is clean, and there's all these videos of him just like looking around, and then he sees this guy and he's like, it's like some you know chubby Australian kid who's like, and he daps him up, and then he's like, got it, and then he goes and he wins. That he
He just takes off and
he's
sets
like
the
the
ground on
literal
fire like
Flash.
a
Yeah,
cartoon.
exactly.
Yeah. You hear bongos.
But
All right.
yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments which Olympic sport you would pick.
What your favorite
Also,
is
which
or what
is
you're
better,
watching.
summer
Sure.
or winter? But yeah, which one you would pick if you could be good at any Olympic sport and why? And if you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us out a whole lot. And we'll see you next week.